What's up? I'm Dan Fredenberg, and this is another Chance Encounter.
Hey, what's up? I'm Dan Fredenberg. I'm a commercial real estate guy. I'm from the internet.
What kind of awful person defaces the angelic and serene Canadian accent on purpose?
Я продолжу говорить на русском языке, поскольку это мой родной и первый язык.
Go to the house. It's going to be torn down soon. I understand that there are power lines that are getting kind of close. What's up again? This is Dan Fredenberg, and that there is. We're seeing more properties like this being built. Let's do some stuff. Talk to you later. Bye.
Today, I'm with Don Spafford. How you doing today, Don?
Hey, Dan, I'm doing great.
All right, great. So this series here, Chance Encounters, there's nothing too special about it. It's just meeting up with real estate investors and quickly going through, what's your buy box, what's your focus, what are you going to bring to a deal with somebody who wants to co-GP or something like that. So first of all, so Don, can you introduce yourself, please?
Sure. My name is Don Spafford. I live in Idaho Falls, Idaho. I grew up most of my life actually around Omaha, Nebraska, but we've been in Idaho for about 6 years. Been involved in real estate for about 10 years. My wife's a realtor and has worked with investors from the get-go. And right now she primarily works with investors purchasing property here. We've been involved in real estate investing side of it ourselves for just over 4 years now. Started buying fourplexes, some here in Idaho, and then some in other states, and just kind of things have just grown from there. And now we're doing some new development in Arkansas as well as here in Idaho, and getting more involved in the multifamily, real estate area.
Now, one thing that I mentioned before is that because this is it's really for strangers. Yeah, Don, I know you fairly well already, but the idea is that even if we don't have anything really to talk about, we at least need to find out, what motivates you and which piece of the puzzle you're game for being responsible for. So to make that work, I'm going to share my screen like this. And so here's a quick presentation. Why do you want to be part of an apartment complex deal? Okay. So the first reason that some people are looking for part of a apartment deal is because they want to preserve their purchasing power from inflation or asset crashes. In other words, they have a nest egg and they're just trying to do the same thing that the REITs are, which is get a decent enough cash flow that inflation doesn't erode it all away. The second reason is what I'm up to, which is trading time for wealth. Now, as a high earner from technology or whatever, I have the choice of either getting a salary and then with that income, investing it into real estate. But if I focus my effort in the real estate and co-GP with people, then I'm actually getting wealth in return for my time. And that's my motivation personally for getting into apartment deals. The next one is super duper common. Fast tracking your retirement. It basically doesn't take a whole lot of explanation. The biggest thing is, how good of a deal could you really get from a bank? Banks don't have that great of a reputation in general. So if you have a hand in your investments, then you're bound to do better as long as you educate yourself enough. Now, the next reason is because you're super duper ambitious. So you want to buy your whole town. I was also playing with the idea of saying, it's like, I hate everybody in my hometown. And that's why I am ambitious. And, and everybody needs to know how ambitious I am. So that's one reason. Some people just need to, big. If there's somebody with a huge yacht, you need an even bigger one. And the last reason is because you have an irrational need to help tenants. Now, I'm not saying irrational is bad. I'm just saying maybe there's a social group that you want to take particular care of, and it's not necessarily about squeezing out every bit of profit that you possibly can. So those are the five, and of those motivations, like where are you, Don?
So my whole purpose, I guess the main thing would be the fast track to retirement. I guess, so just to take a step back though, I'm not a high income earner like you are. I've never made over six figures as a earned income salary, and So I've had in mind the FIRE movement, the retirement early and all that. And a lot of that is, of course, based on the 4% rule. You build up your retirement nest egg and withdraw 4% of that. Well, for me, that would probably take forever to get to if that point. But the whole purpose of the 4% rule was basically to cover your income during that time. So if I could come up with a better way to still provide that income that I need without having to start with the $1 million or more nest egg, well then, yeah, let's go for it. And so that's what real estate does for me. It's provides that additional income at a much faster pace with a lot less money to begin with.
Right.
So that's kind of been my plan, is that just to get that retirement income through real estate. And I consider, Ross, my point of view, I tell people, is the real estate is the shortcut to FIRE.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree. And that's the thing, whenever you turn around to like a doctor or a lawyer or a tech guy or whatever, you got to be asking, like, why did they move from that into real estate? And there are really fantastic reasons to do it. It's absolutely clear that there's a better opportunity to make and build a legacy than there is in much others. And I also would say that you can definitely make it into a side hustle. And I think that real estate is the best side hustle you could possibly have. And if I were to be really cynical, I'd say a lot of commercial real estate in particular is about finding investors, finding out what they're looking for, and then when something comes up, you just let them know, and then you co-GP with them or something like that. And that's really a tough one. But if that's what you're really if that's what it's really all about, then neglecting to build a personal brand. And having your toe dipped in real estate and you at least understand how they actually make money. I can't see a good reason not to have that as at least a side thing. Would you agree with all of that?
Yes, definitely. Yeah. I mean, and then, from my own perspective, and most people I know that start with real estate investing, it's essentially starts as that. Most people still have a full-time job, and they're just doing, like I said, doing this on the side to build up some additional income and additional wealth down the road, whatever it may be. And once you start getting those, basically seeing that income stream and seeing the things it does, seeing the appreciation, you're like, wow, this really can go somewhere. That motivates you more to get more involved and do more and build it faster. Because go along with, besides the income, is also, like you said, trading the time for money. At some point, I'm now in my 40s, and my oldest daughter's in college, and pretty soon my kids are gonna be adults and having their own kids pretty soon and whatnot, and it's like, I'd like to have some time to still spend with them, but before it's all gone and they're all grown and don't have time to spend with their dad anymore, and or even just by chance if I were to die early. I mean, my dad died when he was 55, and that's not that far off for me. So I'm like, I don't want to be in that situation where I didn't get to enjoy the time with my family.
Mm-hmm. That's really awesome. So speaking of the different roles, I want to go through them real quick. I've got a die to show the different roles in a commercial real estate deal. So the first one I'll start with, because that's me, is repositioner. Most of the people you meet online through LinkedIn or whatever, they're really repositioners, which basically means they find properties and they figure out what can they do to make it that property, squeeze it out more cash, more operating income than it does right now, or at least get the cash flow under control of your investors, so it's part of your portfolio. So the acquisitions person is also a repositioner. That the repositioner might have an acquisitions team who does cold calling and whatnot. But one of the easiest ways that the repositioner in such a competitive industry as real estate can make sure that they can squeeze more money out of it, which is to improve the building. So they're going to need a contractor for that. They're going to need somebody who can actually build patios and do capital expenditure so that people will pay more in rent than they do right now. So I'm the repositioner, I find the contractor, and then the only other problem that I have, and I imagine you will as well, a lot of others will have this issue, is that because I'm from the internet, I need somebody to run the property. I need operations. You can see the money going down the toilet, and there are a few reasons for that. One is because operations is unclogging toilets and sinks and all that kind of fun stuff. So you don't want to be getting those guys to do the contracting, because that there's no guarantee they know what they're doing. But the other thing too is operations is also, accounting and marketing to make sure that you've got all of the buildings, all of the rooms, the units rented out. So if you have those, you've basically got a business. But if you're from the internet, you're definitely going to need a local, because, for example, I'm not going to be flying down to every single property once a month or anything like that. So you need to have somebody who can keep an eye on the operations, make sure that they're doing a good job, keep an eye on the contractors, making sure that they're not cutting corners and that they're finishing things in a timely manner. But once the repositioner has all of those guys that are actually going to help run the thing, then they need to go to the financier, in other words, the bank, and say, hey, I've got a deal. Let's buy it and lend me a whole whack of money. And the only problem is they're going to say, sure, but who's your sponsor? And that's the part that most people don't realize until they actually get into real estate, okay? You have to have somebody in the fold who already owns a similar asset, and between the team and the KPs or sponsors, you have to have a net worth of at least the amount of the loan. So these are the 6 different parts of a real estate deal. And, I mentioned that the repositioner, they might have an acquisitions team as well. Financiers, there's private and the banks themselves. They're 2 different kinds of capital. But on this one here, what skills sets do you bring so you can, at least contribute on these? Like, for example, like operations, if you've got you said I forgot, you said triplex, or it wasn't duplexes.
Yeah, fourplexes.
Yeah. So for them, you already are involved in some sort of operations, or do you outsource for your operations on those properties?
Well, the ones I have here in Idaho, I do it myself. I manage them. Have to stay one, and I do some property management as well on the side for some other people. So, so I've got that experience in there. But yeah, so I think, even with the development we're doing, for example, in Arkansas, the fourplexes I have in Arkansas, I've got a property manager that handles that. Of course, I still maintain contact with the property manager. But for that development we're doing out there, honestly, it's my partner on that is also, out of state. He lives in California. And so both of us are just running this, and I'm pretty much running most of that show, just for time wise and things. And so yeah, I think operations would probably be from your die anyway there. That's probably the best fit for me.
But you're actually you're also finding deals as well, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, cool. So there you go.
And so even this. Yeah, there's the development in Arkansas, for example. It was just raw land that got brought to us. And I mean, we do have some other land there that I'm actually flipping with another partner. But this other land came up, and it was a great opportunity. But we had to decide, okay, what to do with it. Just flip it, build some like fourplexes or condos or something on it, or do the commercial strip mall was what we ultimately are doing, because based off the costs and the returns we're getting out of it, the strip mall was the most logical way to go with it.
Okay, cool. So my next question is your buy box. So geography and unit count, things like that. What are you really hoping to find more of when it comes to deals? What do you want to focus on?
Well, so to be honest, I'm the type of person that I'm open to anything. I'm opportunistic, you'd say. If the right opportunity comes up, no matter what it is, if I can find a way to make it work, then I'll go for it. For myself personally, I'm looking for probably something 10 to 20 units size, as like a small multi-family for me to take on myself. Anything larger than that, I'd look for partners, even possibly syndications. But so far, all the big deals I've done, these developments have all been like more JV deals. All the fourplexes I've done on my own, but the larger stuff has been JV. So anything very large, say 20 to 150 units. I'd look for JV or possible syndication on those.
And I'd also think that you're a connector as well. I see you at a bunch of different meetups, and so you know a lot of people in this industry. So I think that's why I like to say that I'm fairly agnostic when it comes to the properties. It's called I just remember what people are looking for, and then if it falls in my lap, then I know who to call. Sure. And it sounds like you're in a fairly similar situation, because that's kind of how it is in this industry, really. It's just, being social butterflies, getting to know everybody. And then somebody says, hey, I got like a 250 unit on this one. Who wants a piece? It's like, well, I'll talk to my people, right?
Yeah,
So.
yeah, yep, exactly. I think that's like you said, that's kind of how it goes in the industry. You can't, most of the stuff, you can't do on your own unless you're just, very well off financially, let's
Scrooge
say.
McDuck.
Yeah, exactly. But otherwise, yeah, it's more about just knowing people, and like I said, if a deal comes along, who to talk to, or if somebody else finds a deal and they actually talk to you about it, I'm like, well, maybe I can't do it, but I know somebody that can probably help you, and kind of connect them that way, and go about it like that. So yeah, there's definitely a an industry where having good connections helps, and being able to help people, I think, pays off as well. Even if the current deal itself not something I can personally help with, but I can help you find somebody that can help you. I know that down the road, somewhere along the way, I might need something, and I'll get the reciprocal favor in return. So it's
Right.
all about helping.
And the main thing is access to good deals, right?
Right.
If you're in the city and you've got your W-2 or your other business or whatever, you can't be on the ground floor with people who are trying to get off-market deals and whatnot. So we're still really good to reach out to for that as well. So could you describe for me, out of all these different roles, what is the person that you could help the most in getting into their next deal out of these different roles? I'm imagining it's probably repositioner.
So I think definitely, well, I already have been helping quite a few people, like at our new investors just getting started. I get contacted quite a bit. I'm active on Bigger Pockets and LinkedIn, so I get a lot of people that are, especially in my local area, looking to get started. They look to me as, I guess, some kind of an expert in the area. So I like helping people just in general, just to get started. I have no problem doing that. And otherwise, like I said, people that have like a bigger deal, like I said, just from the connections I've made with people, I try to help. If somebody's looking for somebody that can be, like I said, be the sponsor, or help fund it, whatever it may be. I've have a good connection of a bunch of lenders as well that do different things, and so yeah, I think definitely just helping people seal the deal, we'll say, to get it done. I could probably with that. I think one of my skill sets that I consider that I do well is getting things done, like figuring things out. I'm good at problem solving, so that's what I like to do. Is if whatever the problem may be, and I need this or that, I'm pretty good at figuring out a way to get it done.
Yeah. True entrepreneurship. And that's, as far as I'm concerned, that's the most difficult one of the bunch as far as skills to develop, just because there's so many involved, and the biggest thing is that if a problem comes up, you can't just hide under your desk. Your problem won't disappear.
Yeah.
And so just having that attitude of, like being a go-getter and going after it is really important. For anybody in the audience who doesn't know me, my background is in tech, especially it's on online marketing and funnels. So that would be lead capture, and also any sort of online sales funnel that you want to do. The way that I end up getting into deals is I co-GP by helping with the marketing and also the operations side of it, and the acquisition, so that anybody I partner with can end up scaling. So that's what I'm up to, and who I can help. But Don, if somebody wants to get in touch with you, what's the best way for them to do that? Is it through LinkedIn or a website or Facebook or what?
Most likely LinkedIn. I'm pretty active on there, and you can see the things I do and like on there. Honestly, I don't have a Facebook account, so you cannot find me on Facebook. I'm one of the few that I never wanted to assimilate. So
you'll never hear me recommend it. You'll never hear me recommend getting on Facebook. It's like LinkedIn often feels like a time suck and a waste of time, but it's not. Whereas Facebook feels awful and is awful.
Yeah, so definitely LinkedIn is probably the best place. I do have a blog that I somewhat maintain called ctrfinance.com, and you can get through me through there as well. But probably LinkedIn. If you're on Bigger Pockets, sure, you can find me there too. But that's pretty much about it.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much for joining me today, Don. And I'm sure I'll be seeing you around. Make sure you reach out. Make sure you like and subscribe and stuff, because all this stuff is on my dime. So if you end up subscribing, then YouTube will start paying me. It's free, and all it does is when you go back to YouTube, I'll be in your suggestions. So unless you really, really hate my face, please subscribe. Anyway, that's all I got for today. Thanks again, Don. See you next time.
Thanks, Dan.